Time to abandon ship.
Oh no!
Here we go!
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here, here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Hey! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod. I'm your host, Josh, and we have a few fun topics this week, including preparation for episode 400, where we are playing a very fun game show night, and box office results come back from Forbes as to how well the Disney Star Wars movies did. We also have a bit of an article about a Ben Solo movie that got turned down by Disney. The internet's been a buzz about it. So we're going to chat a little bit about that too. This one's a short one tonight, but thanks again for coming for the ride. And we're on the eve of episode 400, with this being episode 399. So let's get into it.
Another happy landing.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, Darian. Hello there.
Hello there, Sakuigar.
All right, and welcome back, Blake. Hello there.
Hello there. Chut chut.
Chut chut. All right, so here we are on the eve of episode 400. Pretty exciting.
399.
Heck yeah. But big thank you to our audience as always, because, episode 400 coming up wouldn't, maybe we still would have 400 episodes without an audience. Maybe we'd still be doing this. Would we still be doing this?
I think so. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I feel like one of the nice things.
Just might not record it.
Yeah.
Still hang out and do the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like, there's that little tidbit, that piece of audio played on another podcast somewhere. I've seen Star Wars 500 times. And I feel like...
How is that not on our soundboard?
I don't know. I need to find the original source for that. But yeah, like one of the other things is we've probably talked about Star Wars over 500 times. Easily.
Well, technically 399.
Like I'm talking lengthy conversations. Like
399 times.
I know for sure we've had 400 now on the podcast almost, but at the same time, outside of the recordings, I feel like I've definitely had in excess of 100 in my lifetime, that have probably taken place over the course of an hour and a half or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Every time I come out and hang with you guys, it's like, man, I should just bring my H8 and record us, because this is a podcast right here in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just record every conversation we have.
Yeah. Josh used to bug me about that all the time before we started the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's part of the reason why we started. I guess the idea was, maybe this is something we should have done in the episode 400, but we really didn't have more than an hour and a half. So maybe we can do this tonight. But yeah, I guess the conception of the podcast was back in 2015.
It took us like 5 years to get rolling.
Yeah. It was a while ago, and I actually made the account for the show.
We were pitching ideas just out of fun.
Yeah,
dude, it's free.
Yeah,
nobody has that name.
No, I made the email, I made the name, and it's slightly modified since then, because originally it was just called The Escape Pod. And then eventually another podcast came out called The Escape Pod, and
they stole our idea.
I think it was also a Star Wars podcast.
Probably,
and I was like, oh dang, like even though we've got the name and the email and the host registered account on Podbean, this and that, there's still another recognized show called The Escape Pod, and I just thought to myself, okay, well, maybe we'll just be more specific with like how we call this show, and people can recognize the fact that it's a Star Wars podcast, and so Star Wars Escape Pod was born, and it's the rest is history. But I think it was last year or this past year on Star Wars Podcast Day. We may have talked about this already, that we did like a overview of maybe the origins of the show. I think that may have been last year's, that we did like a self questionnaire, like a self interview.
You know what would be fun to do when on Podcast Day again? See if we can get them to be on our podcast and us to be on theirs.
The Escape Pods cross guest. Yeah, that'd be I'll reach out. That's a good idea. I'll reach out to them.
I've been trying to get Marco for years to go on the Bucketheads podcast, and he's just like, no, I don't know. I don't have time. And it's
there's a Bucketheads podcast?
Yeah, and it's in German. It's like, it couldn't be more perfect.
What? There's hold on a second.
Is it only in German?
And is not named after the fan series?
No, it's existed longer, apparently.
Wow.
Is it around Star Wars regarding the term Bucketheads?
Yeah. And they use like a stormtrooper helmet with a bucket coming out of the top. For those that don't know, Marco is from Germany. His first language is German.
Oh, that's perfect then.
Yeah, exactly. Like the dude is fluent in it, and
man, that's like Major P. How's he not got on their podcast?
Right?
Yeah, how has that not happened yet? They got to get him on.
Yeah, if I spoke more German, I'd just start like pitching to them. You should have this guy on. Like it's perfect. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like Bucketheads, they're into their 122nd episode now, so congrats to them. They cracked 100 episodes, so they've been around a little bit.
Well, there's also two different Bucketheads. One is a podcast and one's just a channel on YouTube as well.
Okay.
They're completely separate from the Bucketheads podcast.
You should do a Bucketheads union and get them all together.
Well, it depends on how good the English or the German guys is.
Half German.
Oh yeah, Bucketheads.
Chaos.
Well, I found a. Oh yeah, that's right. So I found a YouTube channel as well, also just called the Bucketheads, and you can find them with the handle Bucketheads GG, I guess, and they're tabletop nerds with a game show and community based out of Dallas, Texas. So that's their description there. So yeah, that's cool. A couple Bucketheads, couple of escape pods. You
should get the Trooper guys on there too. Do you remember the Trooper video back in the day?
Yeah, I remember that when it was like VHS quality and you had to wait an hour to watch a 30-second video.
Mail order.
Yeah, basically.
Comes on a floppy disk.
Well, while we're actually talking about Bucketheads, Twin Sun Film Foundation, was it, now operates outside of Patreon on their own website with their own platform now. I forget the details of that. I know I'm a subscriber on there, but would you be able to share a little bit about that website? Do you know a little bit about that?
Yeah, they're no longer doing Bucketheads. We just decided that the fact that 3.5 years went by before we had filmed the first episode entirely, that doing 9 episodes, they're going to be in wheelchairs by the end of it.
Yeah.
Just the feasibility of what
to be fair, I would watch that.
So would I. And
I
did a cartoon.
Chairs, like Yoda.
In the first section, I did a cartoon making fun of that. And they're like, oh, can you imagine? And then it stopped being a joke. So,
oh, I found it. Okay, so it's twinsunfilm.org. So that's the website. If I can remember, I will put it in the description. I just keep forgetting to talk about the fact that they've launched this new platform, and there's a couple different tiers that people can subscribe with. But on there, it does showcase their future projects. It looks like one of them is called The Void, coming in 2025.
I believe that has been filmed.
Okay.
I was not a part of it, so I don't.
After crashing on an asteroid, a TIE pilot races to fix his ship while fighting off demons from both his hostile world and within. Sounds pretty intense. There's also a short called Gonk coming in 2026. Gonk is a heartwarming story between a loyal droid and his aging companion. Oathsworn, currently in script revisions and location scouting. A stormtrooper tells a story about how a single death trooper defied an entire legion of rebel insurgents, coming in 2027. And the last two is, Tithe? And a farmer and his family try to defend their homestead from raiders on the agricultural planet Tanab. And Nightfall coming in, Tithe, there's no release date. And then Nightfall comes in 2028, slated to begin pre-production in 2028. Nightfall follows a squad of stormtroopers on a nighttime rescue mission on the forest moon of Endor. So, definitely go and check out twinsunfilm.org, because they got some, if you love Star Wars fan films, they got a big slate. And if
That's
you
a
want
lot.
those to happen, you know, you got to subscribe and chip in.
Is this all from the Bucketheads crew?
We just decided that it would be better to go on to other projects. And we always had plans of doing a bunch of these projects. Like I submitted a pitch to the Boyd one when they were on their second script. And everybody laughed at mine, but they're like, we don't want to make them all ridiculously humorous and like dark and whatnot. I had a very, very dark pitch. But everybody enjoyed it. They're just like, we don't know if we can put that on the internet, Darian. So
Maybe on the dark web.
yeah, but hearing the new pitch for that, or at least what they've put online, it sounds like it's been revised quite heavily since what I last read. And then Gonk, what I last read on that was wildly different from what you just read. So I know that I'm going to be working on the props and costumes team for that, but
I really hope you get to make the Gonk droid.
I won't. I believe it's already made. I'm not involved in that part.
Do you know if it's a costume or is it like mechanical?
It is a costume, yeah. They are looking for the right person, I believe, still. So
By that you mean stature?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are a smaller stature person and you would like to apply, I'm sure they would love to hear from you. They're probably going to murder that. But
What about like preteens?
I don't know for sure what they're looking for.
Apply and find
And
out.
I only want to poke the bear so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just if you're interested in helping them out in some way, whether you're tall or short, maybe just contact their team through their website because there is contact information on the website.
Perfect.
Twinsunfilm.org. All right, thanks, guys.
Link in the description.
Yeah,
Josh.
link in the description. I'll try and remember it. Okay, so something was made aware. Something was made aware to me recently. We don't need to linger on it too long, but Forbes released an article about the real profits from the Disney era of Star Wars films. Now, if just to catch everyone up, there is 5 of them. There is the 3 sequels, Rogue One, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. So we're not talking about the shows. This is specifically box office profits. This is what is left after the movie is paid back, obviously, from, it takes so much money to make a movie. So this is after the
gross profits.
Yeah, the gross profits. Yeah, not net, which, you got a massive marketing budget in there. Force Awakens marketing budget, I don't even know how horrendous that was, but it was probably pretty high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there
I'd
was
be curious
like
to see that with inflation compared to Phantom Menace.
Yeah. So we'll do this in release order, just so you can see the curve, I guess. Force Awakens clocking in at $500.2 million profit. Gross profit. Not bad, not bad at all. I mean, it cracked a billion.
I would say it was over $1 billion.
Yeah, it was. I remember that was big news back when it came out.
It was, yeah. It was one of the early ones, and then like the next, there's 3 that year or something.
Yeah, I think there was maybe one Marvel movie and
I think Jurassic World or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is one of the few movies to have ever cracked $1 billion because there is very few in that club.
Man, I'm still waiting for Titanic too.
I love that interview of James Cameron just being like, I'm James Cameron, watch my movie, and drop the headphones because they were asking about Titanic.
Nope.
I think, I will be, just on a side note here, I will be very surprised if Avatar 3 Fire and Ash does crack the record again, because I feel like...
One?
Water?
Oh, man.
I meant numbers.
Yeah, here. Let me pull that up. I know both of them have cracked $1 billion.
Avatar 3, Thunderdome.
The tricky thing is
it will be pretty cool.
The tricky thing is, I know that the first one has been re-released once or twice. So that one.
I mean, it was a decade between the first one and the second one.
So far between the 2 movies, they have grossed $5.2 billion.
So crazy.
Between the 2 movies.
Was most of that the first one though?
Probably. It says Avatar 2009 earned over $2.9 billion worldwide. Way of Water grossed over $2.3 billion worldwide.
Pretty impressive for that big of a gap, and then having that sort of box office return.
Yeah, it goes to show you can have giant gaps and still make a good product.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think also what served The Way of Water really well was having that massive gap in between the movies. And, same with Force Awakens, because, 2005 to 2015, that's a 10-year gap. Avatar was 2008 or something. Way of Water came out more than 10 years later. And so I feel like they had that Avatar hype going for it, and people may have seen it multiple times. You know, kind of like Star Wars. Like, I don't know how many times you guys saw it. I think I went like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So that helps. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit nervous for Fire and Ash, you know, quite frankly, but this isn't an Avatar podcast, so, you know, we can move on. But $502.2 million for Force Awakens. Kind of crazy, but also a crazy budget for the movie and marketing. And that took away a lot of profit. I think marketing maybe did a disservice.
Because I remember when that came out and people were like, well, I guess Disney made basically all their money back from the sale.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Force Awakens was a lot of word of mouth. Like people were talking about it all over the place.
I don't even know if it needed a word of mouth, man. It was like a big Star Wars movie after a decade.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like that in itself was like a huge lift for marketing this movie.
I remember an article about talking about like grandmothers are like going to see the Force Awakens.
Yeah. Everyone
So it
saw
became
it.
like a cultural thing.
A lot of people, that was their first Star Wars movie, was Force Awakens, you know. And we had Rogue One. Profit is $258.4 million. So
I'm surprised.
It made $1 billion, didn't it? Box office.
Yeah, but they
like
refilmed like 70% of that movie.
Yeah.
That's got to eat into some stuff.
And that was even a bigger issue with Solo, but because it was Gareth Edwards, right?
Yep. And Tony Gilroy.
And Gilroy, but I thought he just did like a few pickup shots. Is that not what you heard?
For Rogue One?
Rogue One, yeah.
No. There was quite the scuttlebutt about it being like 70% reshot. So and I noticed quite a difference in certain scenes.
It says Gilroy mostly reworked the third act.
Okay.
So there's a good percentage of the movie. You know, reshoots happen kind of in every movie, you know, and pickup shots and this and that. But yeah, I think Tony Gilroy I believe he was on from the beginning as like a producer or something. And then I think he
stepped in
for the more so towards the end.
He's the director that did the original Bourne trilogy.
Yeah. Well, and he's the guy who helmed, and he was the showrunner for Andor. So, you know, he screen worked that entire production, and that's kind of his masterpiece. But yeah, Tony Gilroy, you'll find a lot of articles online saying, you know, how Tony Gilroy fixed Rogue One. And it's like, man, I mean, just to throw it out there, like Gareth Edwards is an amazing director. Like, you know, did a great job. Like, nothing wrong with Gareth Edwards. It's just, I think it was a team effort, right? Like, and Tony was kind of there to do a lot of lifting towards the end.
Well, and Tony Gilroy even said that the other director was present for a lot of what he refilmed.
Yeah,
like
he was.
The hallway scene and everything. Like he definitely had his fingerprints and everything.
Totally.
But Alan Tudyk, the actor who played K2SO, talked in a couple of interviews about how he actually was also playing a TIE fighter pilot, and that character was completely deleted from the films. So
yeah,
it tends to make me want to believe that more of it was refilmed, because that's pretty big if your main antagonist is taken out of the film.
Is that what it was supposed to be? He was playing like a main antagonist. I haven't seen that interview, so I'm actually curious.
I think it was on the Nerdist, if I remember right. This was a long time ago. This was right when it came out that he did that interview.
So a decade ago.
Yeah, and there was like, it just didn't make sense to have that in there. So, and it's a shame.
Was that the TIE fighter from the infamous trailer?
I think so. He never directly addressed it, but that's what I'm assuming too.
Okay.
Because like if you watch the original commercial, it seems like she's a one-woman wrecking crew and everybody else is there just to kind of facilitate her journey. Whereas
there's a crew of comedy relief and then Jyn Erso.
Yeah, exactly. And then the movie we actually got was like 60% Jyn Erso and 40% Cassian Andor with peripheral.
Right.
So, or at least I feel it was that way.
And then Bodhi Rook, is that his name?
Bodhi Rook.
Who's the pilot? I'm blanking.
Bodhi Rook.
Yeah. So he'd be like -10.
Cargo pilot.
Oh, dude, that guy did such a great job, and I love his acting in so many things.
Yeah.
I meant the usefulness for the job itself.
Oh yeah, no, he was definitely like the kicked around MacGuffin of that. movie.
Yeah. That poor guy.
So we take a step down, you know, to $258 million. This is a pretty big hit, but it's also not a main episode. So it's like, okay, maybe they're accepting it. It's like, it's not bad, right? It's a pretty good return. Last Jedi rolls around. That makes $324 million. Critically received well. Obviously, we remember what the fan response was like. You know, did really well for what it was. I mean, it wasn't. Force Awakens definitely has that lift because of the you know, the hype, right?
Yeah,
but now
massive hype there.
Now and there's the third Star Wars movie in now, and it's like, okay, you know, $324 million. It's not bad.
What is the with inflation drop between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones? I want to compare this. I'm curious.
The inflation drop?
Now, are you just going after Attack of the Clones because I said it was my favorite?
I'm all for you, man. I'm just curious because it was a similar situation.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I know that Attack of the Clones has the biggest problems and everything, but I still love parts of that movie more than anything else in the Star Wars franchise.
Minus the green screen glow in some shots, the last like 35 minutes are awesome.
Okay, I found it. So I don't know if this is adjusted for inflation or not, but it says gross to date. So I imagine maybe
I would think that. No, that probably means with like DVD sales and stuff.
Now, does this include toys and merchandise? Because
no. This
I was
is
going to say that would
this is gross to date, so it would not include DVD sales. This is Phantom Menace.
It probably means re-release though. So it's like every time it's been in the theaters is included, not just the original run.
Possibly.
I'm going to say yes, because that's how I would interpret that. So maybe look up original Phantom Menace box office and then look up
because
Clone Wars.
Attack of the Clones wasn't re-released, was it?
Yeah,
Phantom Menace had more for sure because they did the 3D thing before the Disney sale. So they only got the one out.
We went to Attack of the Revenge of the Sith last year, right?
Yeah, because they did the anniversary of that, but not Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they had Phantom Menace a few years before.
Yeah, Phantom Menace has come out the most.
Yeah, so Attack of the Clones can't hold up on box
That's
office
why I just want to see
overall.
the original numbers. I'm just, and maybe this is becoming too big of a tangent, but I'm curious just to the drop off of Phantom Menace to Clone Wars from the original theatrical release and compare it to the sequels.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you the numbers that I found because I have no idea where that other information is. But and again, I don't even know if maybe this Forbes article is just talking about domestic or not. But Box Office Mojo says that the gross to date for Phantom Menace $431 million. Attack of the Clones $302, and
closer than I would have thought.
Revenge of the Sith $380.
Yeah, I thought it would be a little bit more disparaging, but I mean, people went and hate watched Phantom Menace. I did not hear that for Attack of the Clones.
Right. Well, that would make the gap bigger, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you'd think that was part of why I was actually expecting more.
But it's also this hype of Star Wars is back. It's like what Force Awakens had. Star Wars is back.
That's why
people are going to see this movie,
thing.
right?
After this big gap of Star Wars material.
Didn't even Empire Strikes Back have quite the loss compared to A New Hope?
I heard that when it came out, a lot of people didn't like it because it was such a divergence from the original themes of the first Star Wars.
Dude, you have to go back and read some of the news articles about Empire Strikes Back. There was a magazine about Star Wars, and during Empire Strikes Back, they actually shut the magazine down.
Oh, wow.
And their last issue was, we just didn't see as much out of this movie, and we don't think that we could mine this for material to keep fans interested. So thank you for being a subscriber and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, wow, that was seriously the take on Empire Strikes Back at the time?
Now, it's funny how time changes things.
Right?
And now that's considered like the top tier.
It's very difficult to find those original box office numbers because they have been re-released and then they did the special editions and those hit the theaters and so it's tough.
Like, don't get me wrong, A New Hope covers way more information and world building and everything.
Yeah, it's the first movie.
Yeah, but like it is so dense with what it packs in.
True, but tonally is quite different from Empire.
True, yeah.
All right, so Last Jedi with 324, stepping up again. Big step down with Solo, A Star Wars Story, $103.3 million. One fifth
profit?
Of 1/5 of the Force Awakens profit.
It still made money.
It's still money, right? And it's like,
but the budget of that one was significantly higher.
I think it took away a lot from their profits.
Wasn't it the cost of 2 movies?
Man,
because I thought they had got pretty far in with the original directors, the Lego Movie guys, and then Ron Howard basically came in and filmed like 60 or 70% or something.
Solo is one of the most expensive films ever made.
Yeah,
with a budget of at least $275 million, which is a lot.
And then the fan turnout for that was significantly lower.
Yeah,
it was.
I only went to that one once.
I think that was pretty common. More, I feel like before that, people went multiple times.
Yeah.
Well, even further step down with Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, at $48.3 million. The finale to cap it all off. I mean, that one was
pretty good.
They talk bad about the Solo box office, but I think Skywalker really that was a poodoo. Yeah, that one hurt. But I mean, like, it kind of shows, right? Like there was a pretty sweet trailer. I don't really know if the marketing was all that successful with that movie.
I think there was less marketing.
There was like hardly any toys either. Like, I mean, you couldn't find a Lego set to save your life or an action figure. Like Dark Ray came out years later. Like, there wasn't that much stuff going for it,
It was interesting to see the divide between fans on that one, but let's not
Yeah, just like the
It's
success of the
yeah.
box office, though, like what fed into those numbers was the hype train. I think was over at that point, and it was like, okay,
Well, what is that? Like 9 years later, 8 years later?
the whole sequel / Disney spinoff period was across 4 or 5 years, because we're talking 2015
It's pretty impressive.
for Force
It's a
Awakens
3-year gap between each film.
and 2019 for Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, 5 years. 5 years, one movie each year.
I think it was a mistake to go that hard that quick. They should have had a plan for all 3 movies. And I remember they were changing directors quite a lot in between movies. Like there was the guy that did Dread, supposed to be the director of one of them at one point. And he started filming and they fired him in like 3 days, I heard.
Ouch.
So yeah, there was a lot of stuff where it's like
Too much gore.
Yeah, let's go for a hard R.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I watch it.
this kind of leads me into my my next thing, which is that an article had surfaced recently. The news was out recently that Star Wars fans have been launching campaigns against this news to save a movie called The Hunt for Ben Solo. At least allegedly, that's what
save
it's
it.
being called.
Okay.
But
isn't he dead? So is it a
yeah,
prequel?
so I'm getting to that. So basically, this movie was shelved back in 2021. So this script was allegedly supposed to follow Episode 9, and it was written to feature Ben Solo as a main character, and Disney turned it down. This script was again, take it with a grain of salt. I found a number online, $3 million for the script. It was done. It was approved by Kathleen Kennedy, and then Disney had turned it down. And this was apparently because the higher ups within the Disney Corporation did not think it was plausible or believable enough, seeing as Ben Solo had died in Episode 9. The script was edited by Steven Soderbergh, and would follow Ben Solo on a quest for redemption shortly after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. It also featured Logan Lucky screenwriter Rebecca Blunt, later bringing on Scott C. Burns to pen the script. And there's a quote here from Adam Driver saying, "I always was interested in doing another Star Wars. I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I loved that character. I loved playing him. It was called The Hunt for Ben Solo, and it was really cool, but it is no more, so I can finally talk about it."
Didn't he say for years that he would never come back?
I think that
I don't
was
think that's him.
maybe Oscar Isaac, or
No, I thought it was Finn.
was it John Boyega?
John Boyega?
John Boyega definitely said it too.
I remember him saying that.
Okay.
And now he sounds like he wants to come back.
Yeah, now it sounds like he's kind of ready to come back.
Time heals
Yeah.
all wounds.
Time heals all wounds. Yeah.
Unless you're Natalie Portman.
No, she's talking.
She
about
said
coming back.
she would come back. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I would
surprised.
love
by
that, man.
Me too, man. That'd be great.
You see how ripped she is now, and she's
No,
like
I
a
did not
triple
notice that.
doctor or something at this point.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
No, she's absolutely brilliant. Like you should read some of the stuff she's written.
All right, I'll do that.
Adam also said, "We presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle, why we were doing it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman. They said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that."
I'm kind of glad because, as we keep saying, let people actually die.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
we do
my-
keep saying that. Yeah. I mean, like, see, I would have been cool with maybe a movie between Episode 8 and 9 that was maybe about the character, because
What about pre-7?
I actually really liked his character, like what Adam Driver took to that role. I thought he did a great job.
did
You know,
do a
like,
good job, yeah.
you know, and you know, we may say what we will about the movies or the scripts or whatever or the direction, but he as that character was a great choice. You know,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
he did a great job. And I think a solo movie with him, no pun intended, would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually almost missed the Solo. I really have no problem with pretty much any cast.
The
in
cast
those
was
movies.
great, yeah.
Yeah, like what Daisy Ridley did with what she was given was truly phenomenal, and it bothers me that people send her hate mail.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, because like she's so likable, she's so there for fans, and there's so much positivity that could have come out of that, even if you don't like this.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw the same thing with the Sith lady from Obi-Wan. Can't think of her name.
Oh yeah, Moses Ingram's character, the Inquisitor.
Inquisitor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to hate that character.
Right.
Don't send the actress stuff.
Right, exactly. I mean, you know, it's it was same thing with Rose Tico, right? It's like, you know, it sucks when the actor gets the club from the audiences, and it's like, okay, well,
seen as the character, not a person.
Yeah. I mean, it's super unfair for, you know, she's just doing her job, right? So
See, I don't even get the Rose Tico one. Like, what's there to hate? She seemed like a really nice character and person.
right. It's like it's reasons for that
Just people
go.
upset with the movie.
Yeah, it's people upset with the movie. It's a character they're not a fan of that takes up
Scapegoat.
to so much screen time and this and that. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna hate on the actress or actor because of all these reasons, right? And it's like that's not okay. But like I think that's where it comes from, right? It's just this like negativity in general.
I am a big fan of Darth Rose Tico.
Darth Rose Tico in the Lego, yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool.
That is the revenge she deserved.
It was
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
Did she voice her in that?
I think she did. I think they had a lot of the original voice cast. I'm pretty sure. You looking it up?
I am, yeah.
I'm positive it was her.
I am. I'm not gonna find it this quick.
It's okay. We can stall. We have ADD.
Yeah. Last quote here was Adam Driver said, "For the record, I did not enjoy lying about the existence of the hunt for Ben Solo, but it really did need to remain a secret until now. I really enjoyed making the movie in my head," added Soderbergh. Oh, sorry, this is Soderbergh, not Driver. And he just says, "I'm sorry to the fans that won't get to see it." But let us know in the comics. In the comments, would you have wanted this movie to happen? Would you think Ben Solo? Is there a reason for him to bring back him, out of the Force? We saw him disappear like Ben Kenobi. Maybe the script was penned before they finished Episode 9. Maybe they wouldn't have killed him off. I don't really know.
That actually raises another question. Why did he rate going to the Force like Ben Kenobi? But no other Jedi did that.
I guess he's part of the Skywalker lineage, right? So he's got the gift. He's got the because not everyone.
It's in the bloodline.
Yeah, I think it's just.
How do you explain Obi-Wan?
I don't know if it's necessarily a bloodline thing because like that Clone Wars episode with those Force priestesses talking to Yoda, giving him the knowledge in order to be able to do this. Like not every Jedi is able to retain their identity after they're gone, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think it is, if you look at all the people being able to do this, Qui-Gon first, and then Obi-Wan and Yoda and Luke and Anakin and Leia and Ben Solo, it's all the people connected to Anakin Skywalker. It's all the people connected to the Chosen One, to the raising of this person, and then the legacy of this person. So it's like a two-step process. These people are all part of this story, this Skywalker saga. All those people are the ones that get to, retain their identity after death.
I still think Mace Windu deserves it. Oh, wait, I forgot he's still alive.
Oh, man. I'll just keep my mouth silent on that. All right. We got to wrap things up pretty soon here. But Darian, if you want to talk about what we're doing for the next episode, for the episode 400, and just kind of explain to the audience as to how they can get involved and what we're doing that night.
Okay, so I kind of stole this idea from another podcast. Those fantasy football drafts that everybody's been doing? And
yep.
Well, we want to do that for Star Wars. So instead of watching games and getting points, we're just going to have you, the fans, vote on what you think is the best team to come out of the chaos that is our Star Wars fantasy draft. So each team is going to consist of 6 members and a spaceship that can transport them. Each player drafts in sequence each member of their team. They have to have a pilot, a Force user, and a droid. So and an alien. Thank you very much. I should probably look at the rules as I'm doing this. So the challenge is going to be getting all of your team members, and the objective is that each member has to break into Emperor Palpatine's vault on the planet. I can't remember the name of the planet.
Oh, Pilio.
Pilio. Thank you. I knew to start with a P, and that was the best I could do.
Pisana.
Yeah. So we're going to have a couple of phases. After each player has assembled their team, they're going and gotten their ship. They're going to have to argue why their team has the best chance for success into breaking into Palpatine's vault on Pilio. And then they will have a chance to argue why the other teams won't be able to do it. So then our last phase is you, the fans, will get a chance to vote for which team you think is the most likely to succeed. So how can they do that, Josh?
Yeah, so they can leave a comment in the on Spotify or on YouTube because as everyone might be aware, the podcast does release on multiple different platforms. So the best places to leave a comment that we would actually notice would be on YouTube or on Spotify. And you can also send in an email to our email address, swescapepodcast@gmail.com, if you are listening on another app that might not have a comment section that we listed. So you can always send us an email there. And I mean, heck, if you wanted to send us a tweet or something like that, if you're following us on X or Blue Sky or whatever, then typically I usually get notified for those too. So, let it begin.
Even though it's X?
Yeah, I don't really know. They're called posts, I guess. I don't know. But now there's posts everywhere. It's kind of generic and lame. I miss Twitter. I miss calling it a tweet.
Also, if you want to leave us a review somewhere with 5 stars, those will be considered a tiebreaker votes. So
definitely, absolutely, that's a good call. Yes, we do appreciate those 5 stars, and we love any positive words that people might have to share about.
Not to mention, it gets other people able to see our podcast, and
it does. It definitely it increases the exposure on the algorithms, and people more easily are able to find Star Wars Escape Pod when they type up Star Wars. So if you leave a comment, if you leave 5 stars and this and that, definitely helps us out a lot. Helps other fans find the show.
Thankfully, if you type in Star Wars on Google, there's not a lot of competition.
That is true. That is true. Anyway, that is it for the evening, I think. So I don't know. Do either of you guys have any last things to bring up?
I honestly had no idea that there's going to be all these spin-offs of Bucketheads. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, no, it should be fun. I've recently launched a YouTube channel called The Mandarian.
Nice.
Oh, is it launched?
Yeah. I've got
please share.
4 videos up now. So if you look on YouTube, just type in The Mandalorian minus the L and the O. And there you go. I'm the Mandarian.
Oh, great. Okay, well, we'll post those links in the description below. And the YouTube handle was, what was it? The YouTube handle?
The Mandarian.
The Mandarian. All right. So you can use the YouTube search and type in the @ symbol, then the Mandarian, and there Bob's your uncle. So yeah, thank you for that. Can you share a little bit about what your channel is going to be gearing towards? What kind of things can people expect from your videos?
Oh, since I'm a worshiper of chaos and I have the worst ADD, in fact, give other people it secondhand, it's going to be pretty much anything Star Wars that I feel like doing. So far, it's mostly Bucketheads related content, since I have years of behind the scenes video that nothing ever got done with. So
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, you talked about it for a long time. I just didn't know when the day would be, but that's great to know. I'll check out those videos.
Released in ADD fashion at random.
Yeah, pretty much actually.
yeah. Sometimes that's just the way to do it, and then that just gets the ball rolling. So yeah, everyone go and check that out and hit that subscribe button. So thank you both once again for popping on, and that is it.
Thank you very much. This is the way, and I have spoken.
We'll see you out there. Keep flying.
All right, a huge thank you to our audience, because we are nearly 400 episodes in. And if you want to see this podcast get even more successful, just because you love us that much, definitely love to see those 5-star reviews. And sharing the show with a friend always helps us out. And, I guess we've got many more episodes to look forward to. Coming up is, I guess, when this episode drops, it will have been after Halloween. So if you have a special Star Wars Halloween routine that you love to do, send us an email with what you love to do, what kind of treats you give out on Halloween night. Maybe we'll go over that at some point. After Halloween. But we will see you in the next episode, and may the Force be with you.
My life ain't got stress no more.